Welcome to PydyTuesday Uncut, where we show you how datasets are truly analyzed, warts, dead ends, and messy reality included. Today, I'm joined by a very special guest, Wes McKinney, creator of Pandas, Apache Arrow, Ibis, among other things. And he's been watching data scientists struggle with messy datasets for, well, close to 2 decades now. And I am super excited that today he is jumping into the trenches with us. Wes, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on. It's gonna be fun.
It is. Yeah, so Wes, very quickly, I mean, we can talk about those projects for the next hour, but we actually have some work to do. We have to analyze some data, but very quickly, you're my colleague at Posit, so you're a principal architect. And what we'll do is we'll include some links to some great interviews that you've done recently, including the one with Michael Chow on the test set. And I believe that tomorrow the second part is going to come out. And so we'll make sure to include links to those interviews. At this point, before we start, it's actually a good idea to mention that we are both going to be at PositConf, happening this September, where we're both going to be giving a talk, but we're also going to be doing a book signing session. You, of course, for the 3rd edition of Python for Data Analysis, and I'll be signing Python Polar's the definitive guide. So lots of interesting things happening there. And of course, looking forward to seeing you there in person. For now, it's remote. And
it's in Atlanta, so would definitely be great to see more folks there, and look forward to do the book signing. I'm giving a talk about some of the work that I've been involved with in Positron, and maybe we'll have a chance to take a look at that today while we're analyzing data sets also.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, talk about Positron, and I'll be doing a talk or a workshop about polars. Maybe we get to combine the two today. And just like before, I'm the driver, and this time you're the navigator, which means that I do all the typing so that you can focus on the hard part, which is all the thinking. And in other words, you're in the lead, Wes.
Okay, sounds good. I mean, this is fun because often people describe me as a data scientist, and it's true that I started out doing a lot of data analysis, but then over the last 10 or 15 years, I've mostly been doing engineering on data tools, and so it's actually surprisingly infrequent that I actually sit down and work with a data set. So I enjoy when I actually get to sit down and do data analysis. Since more often than not, I'm doing engineering on the tools and less of like the day-to-day, like in the driver's seat as a data scientist. So we've got some data to look at that I put together last night. I actually haven't looked at at these data sets, but I thought that it would be cool to take a look at the 50 most popular Python projects on GitHub, at least ranked by GitHub stars. And so what I did was I asked Claude Code to build some data scraping scripts, which I will, or I can publish on GitHub so other people can get them and use them to scrape the data themselves. You need to put in a GitHub API key to get around rate limits and so forth. But basically this is raw data straight out of the GitHub API. It includes commit data and issue and pull request data. And so I thought that by analyzing the this data, we could get some sense of like what's going on in these projects, maybe like what people are talking about. I don't know if you've got an Anthropic API key, maybe we could get some we can install chat lists and get some like LLM summaries of activity in these projects. So who knows what we'll get into, but we've got some raw data, and So I think
Exactly.
I sent you the tarball of all these data sets, so we can start by untarring the data sets. And there's some other
Yeah,
data sets that I prepared that we're not going to look at, but I think we'll just start to look at the GitHub data. And since you did write, Python polars, the definitive guide, we'll use polars today, and we'll do the work inside Positron. So maybe we'll get to use the data explorer a little bit that I've worked on, and we'll see what we find.
excellent. So let's see here. So I have the file that you sent me, this tarball. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm currently in a terminal, but we can immediately do this in Positron too, if you like.
Yeah, why don't you
So
just flip the positron and you can pull up the terminal there. So just make it a little bit easier. I think you do like, yeah, exactly.
absolutely. Let me make this a bit larger.
Yeah, so just, yeah, tar XVF that. There we go.
All right, so we have a data directory here.
I didn't sanitize the GitHub repos for bad language. I guess there's a popular Python project that
I'm
has
seeing it too.
that has a bad word in it. So I apologize. We can always delete that one, I guess.
That's okay.
But yeah, so the directory that we're looking at is the GitHub repos. The GitHub repos. Let's maybe I don't know. Let's open up like the Ansible file and just see what's going on in there. Okay.
Right. Move some panels over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So we've got looks like a big,
a nested JSON file. Lots of data.
yeah, with issues and all kinds of stuff. So we got issues and recent commits. Could you open up the issues and see let's see what the structure of the issues looks like. Okay. Okay, so we got issues, issue labels.
Hmm,
Are
that's
there
interesting.
yeah, there's probably comments in there. So let's see if we can so yeah, there's an indicator if it's a pull request or not, if the issue is closed, there's the issue, like there's the issue body. Um,
Right. So a pull request is also internally stored as an issue. Is that?
yeah, so in GitHub, like issues and pull requests are the same like
Yeah.
entity type, like in their storage model. So there's just a flag
Yeah.
whether something is a pull request or not. Scroll down a little bit. I was curious to see like what the comments look like, if there's reactions, comments,
All
just
right.
kind of
This
getting a
is,
sense of like maybe I guess people's reactions. So we got all the comments. These are all like comments that people have left. It's
yeah, the
quite a
body
lot of
seems
data.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so maybe what we'll do is like let's start, and we can load one of these files with pullers, and then we can decide like what kind of an initial set of fields that we want to extract from the file for analysis. And then um I'm trying to think like what type of analysis we would like to do with this
Yeah.
um
Well, there's a
we've got like
timestamp.
yeah, so we've got issue. Yeah, we've got all the issues and pull requests, we've got issue comments. Um, I think to get the like issue labels, the the comment text, the comment, like the comment date, like the issue creation date, that will enable us to start getting like a sense of, like, if we wanted to start computing, let's say, like the pulse for each project, like what kinds of issues are getting a lot of activity. So like issue date, the issue, like the issue labels. So that will give you a sense of like what kind of issue or pull request it is. Like we want to know whether it's a pull request or an issue. So we can look at the pull request field to determine like whether it's. I think for an issue, the pull request field is just blank, but we can,
Yeah.
determine that by looking at the by looking at the data. And so maybe like if we start working with just a single file and get it working for one file, then we can work on doing it for, doing it for all of the JSON, all of the JSON files. We can start to maybe get a sense across all of the repos of like, you know, like where is the, like which are the most active repositories, like in terms of like, issues, pull requests, comments, like to get a sense of. Because the reason I was interested in looking at this was to get a sense of like the community pulse across all these projects, because there's so many fast growing projects and they get a lot of stars on GitHub. But sometimes the projects that get a lot of stars on GitHub don't actually have very active communities. And so it might be interesting to see like, there's, especially now, there's a lot of AI projects that are, because almost everything in AI is written in Python. So there's plenty of AI projects on GitHub that have tons of stars, but some of those projects don't have very active communities. And so I thought it
Oh,
might be interesting to like to compute some kind of uh,
like a
like a
ratio.
project, like a project pulse, and then maybe
Yeah.
we could visualize that versus like the GitHub, no, like number of stars in the repository and things like that, to get a sense of like where each project falls on the like hype, basically the hype scale, like community activity relative to hype, which is measured by GitHub stars. I don't know how that seems to you as like maybe a starting point of one analysis we could
Sounds
do.
sounds like I have my work cut out for me. This is
um,
but we'll, like you say,
well, yeah, we'll see.
let's
We'll
just get
see.
started.
We'll see how far we can get. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. Exactly. So I just created a new Python file, and we can just keep it like this for now. Um, First, I need to set up a virtual environment. So
yeah. And Positron has we've been doing a lot of work on UV support in Positron. So there's still rough edges. I mean, Positron is still a relatively new project, but if you're a UV user,
oh,
we are we want UV to just work and be um since I'm using UV in a lot of personal projects. And so even though historically I've been more of a Conda user,
oh yeah,
but it's a great tool.
it is just so fast. Let me see here. It seems like Positron has picked up on this virtual environment. Um, there's only one way
Yeah,
to
maybe
find
you can
out.
go over to maybe you can flick over to the console here to see um, there
Oh
we
yeah,
go.
of course. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
That worked.
Okay, yeah, that
Cool.
worked. Let me see
Oh, and I
here.
see it
So
looks like you've got multiple sessions. So that little window to the right of the console is the session selector. So like Positron, you can have see there's the UV from your virtual environment. I guess you had another one from before. I think you can probably just kill that other session.
yeah,
Um, But one cool thing about Positron is you can have like several Python sessions going at once, and you could have like one session that's attached that you're, doing one set of work in, and then another one, or even you could be testing like multiple versions of Python at the same time and switch between them in the session selector. But you can also use R and Python in the same Positron session and switch between like an R session and a Python session, which is pretty cool. Anyway.
that
Um,
is really cool.
so yeah,
Yeah, Yeah, my talk at Conf is actually going to be about polyglot data science, or how to use
Yeah,
multiple languages at the same time. So this is very exciting. Okay,
awesome.
we got
Okay,
pillars. And then I guess let's start by
so yeah,
reading in some
reading some
JSON.
JSON.
And
It's the GitHub repos.
oh, yes, of course. All right.
This is going to be interesting because I think it's like one big JSON object, and so I'm curious like what Polars does with that. So it's a single row.
Yeah, you
Uh,
get exactly. It's a single object in JSON.
yeah, so it's one massive struct. So how are your skills at unpacking? Well, I guess we can do struct field selection and with polars. So I guess if we look
Yeah,
at the let's look at
there are
the
two
the
tools.
struct type.
There are two tools that you can use. You know what? And I'll just admit that right before this session, I quickly had to look it up. And where is it? So I have here my book, which of course I didn't write by myself. I co-authored with Thijs Nieuwdorp. But sometimes you just have to reread what you've written. So there are two. So in this particular example, also a single object in the JSON Pokédex.json file, and there are two tools that we can use. Two methods. One is explode, and one is unnest. So explode, which is used to turn every item into a list, into a new that is in a list, into a new row, and unnest. So
Yeah. So it sounds like probably our first step is that we want to unnest, since this is like a big JSON blob with one row, so we want to unnest it, right?
exactly. So we can unnest, and that takes in the column name, which is called metadata.
Okay.
Let me see here. The output is now shown in the console. There's a lot going on. We go all the way up. Or maybe if I save it to a variable, then we at least get it into, we can get it into the data explorer, which might be easier to look at. Oh, so it's still one row, it's still one object, but now we have 80 more columns.
Yep.
These were all part of the metadata key
Yep.
inside this
Yeah,
JSON
because it's
object.
still just all one repo.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right, so we got all these URLs, we got the project description. Um,
And so whenever we have a list.
so this is the project. So this is the project metadata, which
Let me see. I thought that we also had the number of, well, we have a forks count. Is that something that you could use as part of the pulse calculation? Or stargazers? This is the number of stars. Stargazers count.
yeah.
So that's something that we want to select, right?
Yeah, we'd like that. I think in
And
the I think if we go back to the JSON file, so if we go up a little bit, so maybe collapse the metadata field if you can.
yeah, although I guess full name would also be interesting, right?
Well, yeah, the metadata full name.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then it looks like the issues are yeah, the issues are like are separate from the metadata field.
Exactly. So if we collapse this, issues is another top level key over here.
Yep. All right, and that's an
And
array, right? And so if we yeah, because we want to flatten that into a
exactly.
table.
So
Well, the issues I think the issues are actually they're a sibling of metadata.
are they?
Is that
Metadata is currently collapsed.
yeah, so issues is a sibling of metadata.
And it's, I meaning it's still, well, it's still, I call the data
It's
frame
in
here,
D
data
it's in D
frame.
it's in DF, yeah.
It's also still in DF metadata.
Oh, it
Um,
is.
yeah, so my
Oh, I
naming
see.
here is not really correct.
Oh, I
And
see. Okay,
actually,
so when you do the unnest operation in polars, it like um it adds it basically uh like if you scroll all the way down to the bottom is issues down in there. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
Oh, that's nice. I just double clicked on issues and then it,
Yep.
can you actually worked on the data explorer, is that right?
That's
Me?
right. Yeah. Yeah. So like yeah, so the side panel view is the like all the columns in the data set. There's summary histograms, like so when you get like a more traditional, a very not nested data set, you would get histograms and value count histograms in the summary pane. But it is nice that when you have like a ton of columns that you can just double click on a column and it will jump to that column in the data set.
Yeah, very nice. So since this is a list, I think we now want to use that other method to turn them into individual rows. That would be
Yep.
explode issues. I'm not really good at naming unless you feel free to suggest
No, that's
anything.
totally fine. That's totally fine.
Mhm. Clean this up a little bit.
I trust you on this. This is also fun for, a good use case for polars because um, Pandas doesn't have as much built-in capabilities for working with highly nested data. So like
Hmm.
whenever and polars uses Arrow natively, and so when we were designing Arrow 10 years ago, like this was one of
Hmm.
the use cases where I'm having a next generation data frame library with really good nested data handling was something we really wanted. So I'm happy that we have it now. So it
Yeah,
was always the goal.
yeah, yeah. That's
Uh,
brilliant.
okay,
This is currently running. Now we have
okay,
DF issues, 50 rows,
okay,
and
all right,
anything that's not part of the thing that's being exploded is being repeated.
okay. And so it looks like my data parsing script, my data scraper um, only downloaded the data for the 50 most recently updated issues. So if I wanted to get more comprehensive dumps of like every issue in the Ansible repository in all of these repositories, I would have to um, have have the data scraper paginate, and with GitHub API rate limits, it would probably take, my guess would be several days to scrape all of the issue and pull request data for the 50 most popular repositories. But at least with this small snapshot of data, we should be able to get at least a flavor of a pulse of what's going on in this repository.
Exactly, exactly. So
Um,
we'll figure something out. Um,
yeah, so maybe the next step here. So we got the issues. Um, so okay, so what's going on in this? So now you're
yeah.
going to
So
unnest the issues field. Okay. It's got lots of columns now. Look back there. Okay. So looking more interesting. Very
Lots
handy,
of
that
you.
unnest feature.
Mm-hmm. Lots of
And the
URLs.
cool thing about and so one of the cool things about Arrow and Polars is that these unnest operations they do very little actual data copying. They reuse the arrays that represent the data. They just move them around. So these operations in theory should be fairly efficient.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, so we got so now we've got a table of issues, all the issue columns, and um so we've got people who left the comment, the issues. I assume we have a field later on in here with the issue comments. So maybe I think for the comments, like probably we just want to count the comments and see like how many comments are on the issues to get some sense of like a measure of issue
Yeah.
activity. Oh
You
wow,
know what?
we have a
It's already here.
the comment count. Okay.
That's great.
Um,
That's a
it
good
looks like these
indicator of
issue numbers are
pulse.
all out of order. I wonder how yeah, I wonder how the data scraper if the issues are in like random order, or I wonder what it selected. I'll have to go back and improve the data scraping script.
Mm.
Okay. Oh, and then
Yeah, so
there's the pull request field at the end. So like, what does that um look like? So pull
ah,
requests. Okay,
when
so
there's
now we
an
have some that are null, and so those are just issues versus PRs.
yeah, okay. Let me just make a note out of that. So it's called pull request,
Yep.
and if it's a null, that means it's an issue, just an issue.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Um, do we want to make a selection of the columns
And then
inside of an issue?
to like just to subset some of them or to
Yeah,
have fewer columns. Yeah, there's a lot. So
there's a
um
lot. We could so we have, sorry, it's I don't have too much real estate at the moment just to make things legible for
yeah,
everybody.
I think just the maybe the is there an updated at on the issue, or I guess we could do like just take
Yeah, there's an updated at.
um
It's currently a string.
okay. Okay.
So updated at or closed, which same.
I guess we could just do maybe maybe we could take created at and updated at and the number of comments and the description, I guess.
Okay, we'll do another select.
Yeah, I think actually so in the variables pane, if you expand the df underscore issues on the lower right, we'll be able to take a look at the column names here to kind of go through them a little bit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh, that's
Okay.
convenient.
Yeah, so we want I guess the repository, um, and we need some of the repo metadata as well, like the full
Yeah, I would
name,
need to,
stargazers count.
I guess I could move this down to here.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
Now I'm
There we
using two
go.
different ways of selecting columns. I guess if we're not doing anything special, then we don't have to turn them into expressions. We can just use the column
Yep.
name.
I see you
Um,
use do you have a like Vim kind of emulation mode in
I,
Positron, or what do
yes, I
you,
have my
yeah.
Vim key bindings turned
Uh-huh.
on.
Yeah. I'm
And
more of
they
a
work
yeah, I'm
surprisingly
more of an
well.
Emacs. Yeah, I'm more of an Emacs key binding user, but I appreciate the power of Vim.
That's good.
Okay,
That's a
so
nice save.
yeah. Created at updated at. And then I guess the pull requests, I guess we could do like just do the
Labels? Earlier you mentioned
uh
labels. Is that something you
yeah,
want to?
the labels. Yeah, let's get the labels and we can wrangle those a bit after that. It's like an array of labels, I guess.
Let me have a quick look here.
Yep.
Labels. Me too.
Yeah, so that in labels we're going to want to extract the name, like the label names. So like convert the labels field to I think there's a way in pullers to basically apply a map to select a field out of an array, a list of structs.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
But trying to think of how I would do this. I think I would stick to. Let me first try.
Because the ideal is we want to convert that labels field to like a list of labels. So you just have because we're not going to flatten that. We're just going to leave that as a list type in pullers. But we want like a list of string for the
Yeah,
labels. So we want to like, yeah, just project
let
out
me.
um,
Yeah, yeah, let me just
we can do,
grab the labels column and see if this code works, and then
yep.
continue with that.
Yeah, let's see what else. So we want the labels. What else do we want to get here?
Issues is invalid because of course, because when you unnest something, it's no longer a column. And I copy pasted some of that. That wasn't
Yep. Okay.
wait, explode on column issues is invalid. Oh wait, of course,
Oh, it
because
wasn't
I'm not. I don't
yeah, you got
need
to get rid of
this.
that select, yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing was selected, yeah.
No, and now we're still
Okay.
not there. Oh yeah, this is a common issue as well. Is that you can have if you unnest things, you can have columns
That
with the
they
same
clobber each
name.
other. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
so there's a collision here. And now I think if there's a URL column on the
Yeah,
top
so it looks like
level,
we do need to move up like the selection. We need to have two selects then.
yeah, let me quickly check if there is, because there was metadata there, and I guess, yeah, there's URL over here. So what I could do at this point is say, um, I don't want select, but there is, would it be remove?
Yeah, like you
Remove
remove
rows. No,
URL.
that's, I want to
Drop,
unselect.
maybe drop.
Oh, of course, there's drop.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah,
yeah.
drop URL. So I think in
I think
this case,
that's inherited from pandas, maybe.
still not working, but yeah, I just want to say that yes, Pandas definitely has a lot of good influences there. Now, what's going on here? Couldn't. Oh wait, labels URL also duplicate. How? Let me just first double check. So maybe it is safer to do a
Just
select
to do it,
first and
just
then
a select
repeat
there, yeah.
ourselves. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
would
so
need to,
select full name, stargazers count and issues.
yeah, not
I guess we
comments,
need like
issues. You're right.
okay,
Think think this is it. Try one more time.
yeah. Okay, that's looking better.
Yes. All right.
Okay, cool.
Now,
Okay. Much better. And so, oh, that's cool. So you can see like the little histogram next to the number of comments
oh, that's nice.
there. Yeah, so that's nice. Yeah, if you expand the caret, just like people are familiar, you see get like a bigger histogram and you get some summary statistics there. So, okay.
Yeah, that's great.
All right. Progress. All right. So um yeah, and so I guess maybe the only other thing we might want to do is to um maybe to flatten the labels, like the labels field, so just pull out the label names.
Yeah. Let me see. There is a way to do this. It's relatively new. Um,
Yeah.
mm, mhm. And
See if Claude knows.
yeah, you know what? In the meantime, I'm just gonna go to the
Okay, yeah,
documentation.
so you do list.eval and then pl element dot struct dot field name.
All right, all right, all right.
Yeah.
List eval el. Sorry, that was element, or what did you say?
Let me go back to the Zoom window here. So list.eval, and then inside there you do pl.element function call, and then you do dot struct dot field, and then sub a name, like the string name. Yeah. Sorry, parens, yeah, on that. There we go. And then maybe you have to,
I'm already
does that
running
like
it.
over, uh, okay.
I I
When you do with columns here, what does that what does that end up just what does that the result of that do here? I guess we'll see what it does, but
yeah. So it creates or it allows you to create an additional column, but if you don't give it a new
is it going to
name,
overwrite the labels
it's
column? I guess.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh,
Let
okay,
me
cool. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look then. Perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. Thanks, Claude.
beautiful.
All right, so that's cool. Okay. Um, and then do you know on polars, like if it's possible to uh if it's possible to when you have do you know how to aggregate on the values inside like this like labels column? So for example, if you wanted to get like a count of issues by label name, I assume that that's possible, maybe.
um, and you want it per issue, or because eventually we're going to apply this to all of our JSON files, right? So that we have
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, and
so
every project has different labels, and so like the data will be kind of messy. I guess we could apply some heuristics to try to group together similar sounding issues, or use an LLM to like group the issues together. But
yeah. So the one thing that comes to mind now is to first explode this so that each label becomes its own row, and then do a group by. But there might also be another way of you know doing this. There might be a shortcut. Um,
yeah, okay. Well, I guess we can we'll see if we have time for that later. But yeah, maybe since we've got this like template for processing a single file, maybe now we can do this for all of our files and make one big polars data frame,
yeah.
so
So
we can
we'll leave the
append them all together.
yeah. So we'll leave the aggregation for now.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
maybe just focus on importing all the data files, and I guess maybe after this video, I can take a half hour or an hour with Claude Code and see and work on getting all of the data for all of these repositories, so we could I can publish a more comprehensive data scraping script in case people want to download all like project like Ansible has had tens of thousands of pull requests, so you can imagine like the number of
Oh yeah.
the size of that type of data set would be pretty like many gigabytes worth of data for all the issues and all the pull requests, and like every comment and pull request comment and code review comment that's ever been left would be pretty insane actually. um I guess maybe the only other thing we might want to add is like a flag, um whether the pull request field is null
Yes.
or not. Yeah.
Okay. So
So you can add that to
um,
like if you add that to the select like pull request, and then maybe you can add that to the with columns expression.
yeah, so that would be,
I think it's just called pull underscore request.
yeah. So is pull request, is that what you want to use as a column name? Or we can start with the column pull request, right?
Yep.
Is
Null. Yeah.
null. And I guess
Yep.
it's an issue.
Yep. Okay.
Just cleaned up the code a little bit as well. Now we just have one data frame. Um, is there a way to get rid of these?
Do you have your positron what's that?
Yeah, so I now have two data frames, two variables that we no longer need, right? df issues and df metadata. Um, can I get rid of those using this pane? Or
Not the variables pane, but if you go to the console and you del them, yeah, just run that and it should
ah,
yeah, and see it
works.
disappeared. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Okay. And I think that this is
Yep. Okay.
working.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
So 10% is just an issue. Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. From this sample of 50 issues or pull requests from Ansible.
Yeah. Okay. Um, do we want to collapse this back to a single row? Or do you first want to try getting in all the data?
Uh, I think if it's a single row, it'll be a little bit like more unwieldy, like in terms of doing group bys and stuff.
Okay.
Because ultimately we're going to want to group by full name, I guess.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
So we can just
you know what? I think the most obvious thing to try is to just use globbing and put an asterisk here. I'm not sure if this
wouldn't
will
that be nice?
work.
Wouldn't that be nice if it just worked? Let's find out.
Exactly. There's only one way to find out, and that's to run this. And we're getting an error. And oh, so that's interesting. Read JSON doesn't support globbing.
Glob
Now,
patterns.
yeah,
Maybe you
I
should
mean
ask. I'm sure if you mention it to Richie, he'll. The Pullers project they might do it. So
it's yeah, it's interesting, and I have reported things in the past, and then it usually takes a few hours before it's fixed. Yeah, the development
all
team
right.
is yeah, they're working very
So I
hard
guess
pace.
we may have to glob the directory ourselves, and concatenate all of the
From the
sub
terminal.
expressions. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
so
no,
that
I mean in Python, if we do like we use the glob module, so glob.glob with that pattern, that will give us the list of file paths, and then we can just
And then,
run that expression in a loop and append them all together.
yes, okay. Yeah, that works. That works too. The other thing I was thinking of, just to mention this, is to concatenate all the JSON files using the cat command line tool, and then read in, use a read nd JSON, so new line delimited JSON. But since we're working in Python, might as well stick in Python. This might be a pattern that
Sure.
others come across, right? So, okay, so I believe that would be something like this.
Yep.
Data, GitHub, repos.
I gotta run the import.
Oh, of course. That's, yeah.
Okay. So we get, yeah, with the fully,
And we could turn this into a function.
yep. It's like wrangle JSON, yeah.
Oh, let's do that. Yeah. Oh. Okay, read GitHub JSON.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh, all right.
That file name, yeah.
Oh no, wait. I should run this first before it auto completes. Let me try out the function first with one file name, data, GitHub, repos, Ansible JSON. Why is it?
It's because the function is below it's doing,
Oh,
yeah, you need, yeah. Because that function isn't defined yet if you were to run the script. Yeah, there you go.
yeah, that's absolutely
Okay.
right. Okay, so this works. So that would be read
Cool.
GitHub JSON F
List
for,
comprehension.
yeah, for F in file names. And yes, we can
Like
already,
it's like PO concat. Yeah. Cool.
well, DF all. I'm so good at naming things.
Struct field not found. Oh. Yeah. Oh, you know what? It's probably because my guessing is that some issues don't have no labels, and so that's going to error that with columns expression.
Yeah. Okay. Then let's leave this out for now. Rerun this.
Yeah.
Column not found, pull request. Another interesting one.
That's quirky.
I remember there is df concat was something with
I think the error is actually happening in the data processing, like the read JSON function.
could be, or it's getting, because it was, what was it erroring on?
It's
Okay.
because yeah, it's not finding the pull request field, so maybe like
Yeah, these are things that we can do later. But
yeah, because
let's,
there's evidently some data quality issues. So
okay. First, okay.
okay, all right. So we got 50 repos times 50 samples for each one. So that looks about right.
Yeah. These are still strings, by the way.
Oh yeah, so we'll probably want to convert those to
Yeah.
proper dates. Although since it's a random selection of issues, it seems that the dates maybe are not that meaningful. Since it's not as much of a measure of oh yeah, see there's some bunch of things with no
No labels.
labels with labels, issues with no labels.
Yeah.
Um,
So
this
it's
is crazy. Like this Auto GPT project I've never even heard of, but it's got 177,000 GitHub stars. So
yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. It's hard
just
to keep up.
goes to show what I know. Hard to keep up.
Yep.
I'm actually curious. Can you pop open that like the histogram of the stargazers count just to like see the range on these
Oh yeah.
projects? So like max is what 363K. Can you go to the stargazers count column? Just double click on that and then yeah, and then click on the drop down and sort descending. Okay. So
So that's
it's
ebook foundation. Oh wow.
oh
Free
there's a
programming books.
free
Yeah.
programming books.
It
Yeah.
probably includes yours as
The question is, it's free, is it are they, yeah.
well, free as
Uh
in maybe free to read. I mean
I guess, yeah.
your book is now free to read online, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The PDF, yeah, the PDF wouldn't be
No.
free. So but yeah, as a website, it is, yeah, it's free to read.
Right. So
Cool. Okay.
okay,
All right.
let's
So that's
see if we can
that's interesting. And maybe start doing some aggregations and we can maybe look at it's the data is not quite as complete as I initially wanted, but I think given the time constraint, it would have been
exactly.
even if I had spent 24 hours to scraping all of this data, it might not have even been enough. But what's cool is that we build this script, and then once we get the entire data, we can rerun the analysis, and then we'll be in
Absolutely.
business. So that's one of the benefits, the reasons why I like working with, because here Polars is perfectly capable of handling, millions or tens of millions or hundreds of millions of rows, but it's nice to work on a small subset of data like this, like things run instantly. You don't have to
Yep.
worry about running out of memory, and so we don't have to spend a lot of time waiting. So whenever we scale up 1,000 times from here, things should just work. So, all right. Well,
Yeah. So you were saying aggregations. Um,
yeah. So I mean, maybe I think maybe like um, maybe some crude measure we could do would be to look at like we sum the number of comments by repository, and then we could plot like number of comments for each repository, and then make an XY chart comparing like a scatter plot looking at on one axis the number of GitHub stars, and then on the other axis like the number of comments. So the number of comments is a proxy for the community pulse, like community activity. And so then we could see so it looks like actually this ebook repository, there are issues, but the issues don't have a lot of comments. But if you look at for example,
makes
do
sense.
comment sort descending, maybe you might need to clear the column sorting top left and up there. You clear sorting, yeah. And then yeah.
Oh yeah.
So look,
That's a
yeah, see look,
yeah.
I don't know I'd be curious what issue that is that's generating that much. Oh, it's an issue in PyTorch that has almost 2,000 comments. So
Wow.
clearly PyTorch is a project that has a really engaged community, and
Mm-hmm.
yet it has 1/4 the number of stars as the free programming books. So, it'd be interesting to look at.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway,
So
yes.
we'll group by full name, and then we'll take the stargazers count, just the first occurrence, and we sum all the comments. That sounds good?
Yep.
All right.
Sounds good.
So that would be df all group underscore by full name, and then we do aggregation where we say stargazers count. We just grab the first one and the comments column, we do the sum. And this would be the F for a scatter plot, the F scatter.
Okay, so stargazers count comments. So maybe sort by comments descending, we can see the, who's vibing the most. Looks like PyTorch is vibing.
Yeah,
Home
Home
Assistant.
Assistant is,
Okay.
yes.
Scikit,
Yeah.
Scikit-learn. Stable Diffusion Web UI, which I've never heard of. Although I could imagine what it's for. YouTube DL. Ooh, naughty. uh let's see, Keras, CPython. Very interesting. Cool, very cool.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
great. This is
Yeah,
something we
maybe
can plot.
yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look. Should we use pick your poison, maybe, Plotly, or you want to use Plot9, or what
I'm
what
I'm a big fan
maybe
of
maybe
Plot9, but you're in charge.
okay. Let's see. Does Plot9, will you be able to like hover over, get like tooltips whenever you hover over the
No, unfortunately,
okay.
they're static images. So
Okay.
how about Altair,
Yeah.
the default plotting backend
Okay.
of Polars?
Okay. That works for me.
I think we can just do
Yeah.
point.
You just do, yeah. It has a scatter built in, right? It looks like.
Yeah, I think, yeah, scatter. I think it's an alias X and Y. Mm,
Stargazers count.
here
Okay.
we go. It appears in the plots pane. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, and now I guess it would be good to have as a tooltip.
As a label, like the yeah.
Ooh, let me see here.
Maybe do like label equals full name. I'm
Yeah, I'm
being
not seeing.
optimistic.
You know what? Let's just try it out. Um, I'm not seeing it as an argument here, but it might still be passed on
Let's
to
see.
Altair.
No.
No, right? I'm just okay. Now I'm kind of cheating. I'm setting the color to full name, which doesn't make any sense. But then it does appear in the tooltip. So
Text is, so in Altair, it's the field you want is text equals, I think. Let's see if that works. No?
no, unfortunately not.
Okay.
But color kind of worked. You're okay with that? It appears in
Yeah.
the. So we don't look at the legend, but we can still hover over these. Here's PyTorch up
Yeah,
here.
it says, yeah, Claude says Polars does not have the yeah, ability to. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, there it is. That's a kind
yeah,
of a hack with the color. Yeah, that's cool.
exactly. It's a hack. It's a hack, and the Altair is obviously much more powerful. So we're not doing
Yeah.
it a really good service
Yeah,
here.
so it
But
looks like that outlier up top is PyTorch. I'm curious, like maybe what are some of these other like super engaged communities. So Scikit-learn, that doesn't surprise me. Home Assistant for all the home labbers. It turns out like I'm not that much of a home labber because I'm like really not that good at uh like server configuration and DevOps and all the stuff that you have to do to run a home lab. But now that I have Claude Code, I mean, I actually am starting to set up some like home servers and like being able to deploy like little AI generated apps at
oh
home
yeah,
because I can have Claude Code make all the like Ansible playbooks and deployment stuff that I don't like working on myself. And so it
yeah,
spares me. It's like having a pair programming friend who's really good at like home DevOps to write the scripts for me. So yeah, it's pretty unbelievable. Let's okay. Keras, that's cool. C Python, super engaged, no surprise.
Django, of
Django,
course.
and
Yeah.
Ansible. Let's see what else we got there. Llama, okay,
Llama.
cool. Comfy UI, I never heard of. Auto GPT,
Auto
that's
GPT,
interesting.
right?
So I guess like Auto GPT is like one of those like it sounds like a really hype project. Like there's a bunch of comments, but its stars relative to the number of comments is be
Yeah.
cool to have like the access to the full data. And these are like, you know, basically repositories that are like free resources for
Mm-hmm.
people learning to program. So like Awesome Python's learning resource looks like another learning resource, and then maybe another learning resource here. Yeah, interesting. And
Yeah, it
now
makes a
here
lot of
it's like these
sense.
pro and I guess maybe down here these projects that have like between 50,000 and 100,000 GitHub stars but don't have that much community activity are also like this is like the hype zone. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Oh, okay, great. Zoom in. That's nice.
Yeah. Was
So
this
yeah,
your
now we're in like the hype zone down here. So I assume this is a lot of like AI projects and stuff. Yep.
what was your criteria for selecting these repos? Was it at least 50,000 stars or
I asked for like this repositories with the most stars on GitHub initially, like the top 50. Um, and of course, like we're only getting a sample of issue data, so like a more comprehensive measure of like community pulse, especially like to because I think maybe a like next stage of analysis, if we had the full data, would be able to look at like different projects and see the community pulse over time. And
Mhm.
I think we might even be able to get like the granular um like stargazer data, like we can see because there's that GitHub star history website, but we
Exactly.
could look at that ourselves and like get a sense of like when the community, when projects become more well known or they get a lot of GitHub stars, does that actually lead to more community activity?
Yeah.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But often things end up on Hacker News and they get tons of GitHub stars, but that doesn't always translate to an active open source community.
Yeah. In fact, I use that same API, so the GraphQL
Yeah.
endpoint of
Oh, cool.
API. And I mean, this is a little bit outdated, but Pandas is still going very strong there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is
It
over
has. Yeah.
time. So this requires a lot of downloading, a lot of pagination, since GitHub only gives you the first 100 results, uh, or per page, it gives you 100 rows. So that takes a while to do that for all these projects, but it is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, okay. Well, let's see. Well, I don't want to go too far down many other rabbit holes, but any other ideas for things to look at? I guess we could look at that like labels, tinker with that. Oh, I guess we weren't able to fully explode the um
Yeah, so
full
I don't know.
fully explode the labels field, but I'd be curious to just for my own curiosity, I'd be curious like how what's the easiest way to be able to aggregate like number of comments by label name. So like maybe we could just go back to looking at the Ansible repository since we know that one's well formed, like it has everything has labels, and we could maybe try to
All
group by
right.
label and get like a sum of like number. We're double counting obviously, but it gives you just a sense of like what types of issues are being commented on.
All right. Let me just get that into a single data frame here. GitHub repos, Ansible. And now we have df Ansible with the labels, but
Oh,
let me then now,
you got to restore the with columns thing. Yeah, there we go.
let me put it over here.
Yeah, there we go. Nice.
Yeah. Yes. I like how the Data Explorer auto updates whenever the data frame itself changes.
Yeah, that was I worked pretty hard to get that working. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I personally made sure that that worked.
Thank you.
So yeah, because that's
Okay.
like the whole point of the Data Explorer is like you spend so much of your time looking at data and like
Mhm.
you're looking at the data while you're editing your script. And so actually like one thing that's really nice, like if you if you click on there's the little pop out button to the at the top right of the Data Explorer just to show people watching the video, that will open that into a new window. So just go ahead and click it. Oh, you're
All right.
maximized, it looks like. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so like what's cool is that if you have a big monitor, you can drag your Data Explorer like somewhere else on the screen and look at the data while you're editing the script. And so like whenever
Yeah.
basically as you edit the script and run things, like it will, you know, so like if you maybe comment out that dot with columns and rerun and it will show like it will update the Data Explorer will update in real time. Um, no,
Yeah.
at the bottom, if you get rid of that with columns just to show like and rerun that.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like the oh yeah, it's still the old labels column, but yeah. Yeah. So super nice.
Yes.
Because often,
Indeed.
like as I find often like I'm like looking at I want to be able to like look at the data frame while I'm editing it and like cleaning it up and say, oh no, that's not what I want. And then you modify your data wrangling and then you get to see it right away. So it help with that like iterative loop of um wrangling your data. Okay, so I guess like maybe one way like is the way that you would do this would be to explode labels and then group by the exploded label and some um, number of comments, or like what's the right way to do this? Maybe does Polars have some ability to group by list elements without exploding?
Yeah. But every issue would only have uh, a label at once at most, right? So it's
Oh, I see. Oh, okay, so you can't do like
so it wouldn't.
you know,
I don't think it would really make sense to aggregate per row.
so you need to explode before you aggregate then.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And I might be
I guess we
wrong
can
here,
just try it. We
but
can just
that's
yeah. You go ahead and
so.
close that. Yeah.
I believe this was the Zoom level
And
we
so when you
had.
close the and so when you close that window, it popped. Did it pop back in? Oh no, I
Yeah,
guess it closed the Data Explorer window. Yeah,
yeah, but that's totally
that's fine.
fine. Okay, so we have the F Ansible, and I would do explode labels.
Yep.
Is there a way to um, get data into the Data Explorer that's not yet a variable?
There is, yeah. So down in the console, well actually, yeah, so down in the console, if you
Yeah,
yeah, you can do it in your Python script. So if you do the magic percent view, like
yeah.
run yeah like on the left side, so like before the expression, like
You?
that. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. So yeah, now we
This reminds me of R Studio, where you could just do where you could use the view function or pipe into it, and wow,
yeah.
super nice.
Yeah. So
Okay,
now we should have like yeah, so now click yeah, if you click open the expand the labels, okay, yeah, this is exactly what we want. And if you expand this, so whenever you hover over the histogram on labels, it will show like so this is now a frequency chart. So you can see so what it does is it will show like the top, it's like 8 values and then everything that doesn't fit. So you can see like support community is the most frequent label. Um,
So we
Cool.
could get the top 10 most used labels, for example.
Yeah. Or we could just, I mean, I guess we could just aggregate number of comments by label now and then look at that. Just look at that in the data explorer.
Number of comments per label. Let me see
Yeah,
here.
so just so do group by labels and then some comments. Yeah.
Yeah. Group by. Let me also group by full name. Just
Yeah, you need a group underscore by.
oh, you're absolutely right. Group by labels. Yeah, it's still called labels. And then you said the number of.
So like PL comments some, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're double counting, but this is kind of
Yeah.
like double counting
Oh,
number of
that's what you.
comments, but yeah. Cool.
It's okay.
Looks like maybe there's a bug with the view magic.
Maybe there was.
Maybe okay. Okay, cool. Maybe sort by comments descending. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Ship
Well,
it.
I guess with shipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess if we had if we could procure with some elbow grease, procure you know, all of the data over the entire history of these projects, I think this analysis would be pretty, pretty interesting. But I think already with this sample of data that I was able to download fairly quickly, we already got some reasonable insights into what's going on in these projects. But it's clear that on one hand, like AI projects are taking up so much of like the community's focus and energy these days. Of course, there's CPython, which is always really active because CPython is the backbone of the whole ecosystem. And then you also have people are using Python for DevOps and for building their home labs and all those things. And so we see those showing up in the data, as well as like web development projects like Django and Fast API and so forth. So yeah, I think Python community is definitely gotten a lot more diverse and has expanded to all corners of programming nowadays. When I started out almost 20 years ago, it was uh, yeah, it was we had some web development, but aside from that, it was pretty limited. So pretty interesting to see how things have evolved.
Yeah. No, and as you said, it's we've been working with a limited data set, but the process is the same. The code
Of
will
course, yeah.
remain the same. And so I do think that we did some very valuable things here because it's a lot of APIs return nested JSON. So being able to work with that is very valuable. So I think this might be a good point to wrap things up. We'll make sure that the script to get the data, we'll put that somewhere in the description so that people will be able to find it. And yeah, with that, I want to thank you so much, Wes, for being on the PydyTuesday Uncut show. This was an absolute delight. Thank you.
Pleasure. Yeah, it was fun.